Hey everyone, this is David. It's just a quick hit. It's Wednesday afternoon, and look, we've spent 2 days here, the last 2 days with our good friend Patty Stanger. Monday, we had our good friend Loanne. We have to come on here for a quick hit. Hopefully, you guys loved our chat with Patty. You loved our chat with Loanne. Was with Luann this weekend, so we'll spill some tea on that sometime soon. But we need Sarah Fraser for that. This is a quick hit. Let's get into a few things here before we get into some things. And I got a lot to say today. I just want to say one thing because someone put this on YouTube. And you know how I feel about leaving money on the table. So we all know I don't sell myself. I do consulting on the side on weekends. Everyone seems to also want it to be done during the week. I do podcast consulting. Anyone that needs help growing their podcast, starting a podcast, it could be anything from how do you edit to how do you post to higher level things. How do I make money? How do I get ads? Let's book guests. It really anything with a podcast. I do podcast consulting. Every time I put this out there, I get new clients. And I also do general business consulting, kind of like a Tabitha Salon takeover. And then I just do life coaching. Now, somehow, in the midst of all of that, in the midst of all three of these consulting businesses, people have wanted to talk to me about RHONJ, RHOC, and all sorts of other things happening in the Bravo world. So I said this on a show recently, and someone said this on YouTube, and it really is true. This is what Skin Care for Skeptics said. She said, I think you're leaving money on the table by not making it known you'll talk Bravo one-on-one for a fee. People who can't afford it, which my fees are actually very reasonable, so you all could afford it. People who can't afford it will complain about the price and market it for you. So thank you, Skincare for Skeptics. My real point of bringing this up is in the midst of the podcast consulting and the business consulting and the life coaching that I do for an hourly, or I'll do it in half an hour increments. Somehow Bravo has gotten mixed in there. If you would like to pay my fee, and people do, and sit there and one-on-one talk to me about Teresa or Melissa or any of the things going on in Bravo, I am available. So I guess I haven't made that very clear, but somehow in all this consulting business, people book me for an hour at a time to just talk Bravo. So thank you, Skincare for Skeptics. When she says I'm leaving money on the table, I was doing this anyway, but I guess I never made that clear enough. So book me for business consulting, podcast consulting, life coaching, or if you just want to fucking talk about RHONJ or Tamra, the rat that scurries for an hour or half an hour, I'm available to be booked. And let me make that very clear. The second thing is, yes, I live in the Hamptons in the summer. Yes, I am in Sag Harbor. Yes, I live 30 seconds from American Hotel. Yes, it has been absolutely insane here. People have slipped into my DMs. Main Street yesterday was insane. We had every news crew on Main Street all day. You know, everything happens in the Hamptons over the summer, but at the end of the day, we like our quietness on a Monday. So Justin Timberlake getting arrested for a DUI was not in the cards, and it was as crazy as the news has made it out because the news descended upon Sag Harbor and they were here on Main Street all day. I live literally across the street, and I was at American Hotel that night, and I left early, and I did not see Justin Timberlake, but my friend was there. She said she left at 11:30, and he was still there, and she said it was true that he was going around and asking for drinks from everyone. I love Justin Timberlake. Sorry, I have something in my mouth. I one time was drinking next to him at the Waverly Inn. Anyone been to the Waverly Inn in New York? And I was like, who the fuck is this guy sitting next to me? Barely sick. I was like, get away from me. You're sitting so close. Then after like 2 hours, I realized it was Justin Timberlake. And I'm like, oh, I'm in love. Anyway, the Hamptons has been as crazy. And I don't know. It's fun when it's like right across the street from you, but crazy. I don't know why you don't have a driver. Never drink and drive. And let me tell you, it's not a it's here's a neighbor of mine just asking about it now. SAG was insane because of Justin. Oh my God, where are you? Where are you? Okay, so it really was that crazy. Now, let's get into the Kenya of it all. Kenya is still indefinitely suspended. We don't know anything new, at least as of this morning when I'm recording this. I have mixed feelings. The longer it goes, it's just like when I say, is this show coming back or not? The longer something goes, the longer we get used to, we're starting to picture in our minds an RHOA without Kenya. It's starting to become like, oh, we can actually picture that. Here's the thing, though. Again, it's just because now we're going to get into Danielle Staub in a second, who I think is an icon. I really feel all these examples that I'm seeing surface are just different than what she did. And again, I just don't give credit to the network. I don't think they cared about anything when they got rid of Jax or Kristen or Stassi. I think it's just when there's exposure, there wasn't exposure that time, but God, they would have looked bad, quote unquote. I do think that there is a legal exposure here by Kenya taking these pictures and putting them up that did not exist in any other situation. I said before, everything Tom did and Ariana did allegedly to Rachel was done off air. Danielle Staub, who I think is a total icon. I love Danielle Staub. I have spoken to Danielle Staub recently. I have nothing but great things to say about Danielle Staub. I do think her situation is different. Like, look, I understand the guys. I think it's disgusting that they're sitting around and they're watching this porn, which was on Pornhub, and they're talking about her porn, and they're Gorga and Aiden and all of them. Oh my God, my friend is at American Hotel. Should I come say hi? Say hi. I was there last night before JT. Okay, so anyway, my point is that I'm trying to make is that I do think this is different because they never showed the porn. They never put the pictures of Danielle up. So I think it was disgusting. I agree with everything. That she was saying. I agree with everything that Danielle was saying. It was disgusting, but I still think it's different. And I don't think the network is all of a sudden having a moment. I think that it is, I think that it is like, is this liability now? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, is this now exposing the network to stuff? Is Brittany going to go after them? I mean, there were naked pictures, allegedly. So I don't think that they have a conscience. I just think that there's legal exposure, and therefore it's not looking good for Kenya. But here's the thing. If we were going to definitely fire Kenya, we would have already fired her. Yeah, we're conducting an investigation. I